The times that are happening on this planet are asking of us to get real. And you will see in the months of July and August, the individuals who have taken the quarantine, the lockdown, and reinvented themselves, and those who fall short and who did not use this time to actually do some major healing. This is an opportunity for us to face these past relationship issues, these childhood issues. And those of us who are experiencing this great anxiety or this great frustration or this great creative block or whatever it is that is bothering us, is simply there are things that want to be healed, and we are being asked to reinvent ourselves and get real. What do we really need? Because in many ways, a lot of us on this planet, we deny, we ignore, we escape, right? And a lot of us are going to take that path, meaning we're going to be watching Netflix for 10 hours a day, right? And completely just, zooming out of life, right? But this is an opportunity that is going to forever change the planet. And after this time period, people are going to want to participate in a higher creativity. And those people who have that to offer are going to be those who reinvented themselves. The planet after this period, this lockdown, this quarantine, is going to be looking for more heartfelt, right? And it's very difficult to be heartfelt when we are denying and ignoring and escaping ourselves. So this is a period where we can really get real with ourselves. And some people, they are going to feel very overwhelmed. They're going to feel very depressed. They're going to feel very, this is going to be a very unwelcoming period for them, because when you get so used to never looking at yourself, never getting real with yourself, never really going the depths within your emotions, never really being soulful, never really asking yourself, what do I really need, and being honest with yourself about it. A lot of us, this planet is being reset, and we as human beings are being reset, because in many ways, before this event, a lot of us, we've been in this ego game with ourselves, right? Where we have completely just been sort of not looking at the bigger picture of the creativity that really wants to move through us. So a lot of us are going to be getting a shake-up. A lot of us are going to have tower moments. A lot of us are going to be brought down to our knees in prayer. And a lot of us are going to feel the quiet frustration as our plans that we've had, the lot of them are going to fall down, right? And the plans that are going to succeed moving forward in July, August, September are going to be the ones that come from a more honest place within ourselves, right? Where, as human beings, we get into this thing where we're just not honest with ourselves, right? And we play that for months and for years. And sometimes there has to be a point where you reset the whole system so that you can really have, this sort of forceful standstill, so you can really start to listen, right? Listen to your guides, listen to your ancestors. You could say listen to God, and listen to what is really a part of your mission, right? Your life purpose, your creative fulfillment. So a lot of us are going to have to navigate through this period with personal power. A lot of us are going to have to navigate through this period with personal power. And for those of us who've never used our personal power, who've been sort of playing a game with ourselves about change and about making these necessary changes that are for the betterment of ourselves, it's going to be a struggle, right? Because a lot of people are getting a wake-up call in their emotions. A lot of people, their emotions are stirred up. A lot of thoughts are stirred up on this planet. It's like the whole planet itself is being stirred up. And the reason for that is to really get us on the path that the ancestors, the spirit guides, the earth angels really want us to be, where we can start to function more from our creative fulfillment and less from our, faking it till you're making it, but then faking it still, right? Because when in the ways we've been functioning, in some ways, in the ego game that we play with ourselves, where we're sabotaging, or we're delaying, or we're kind of half-assing, or we're not being responsible, and we're just kind of being foolish with ourselves. Right now, it's like all of that is coming forward, and you're really getting to look at, okay, well, where is it that I need the most healing? And I need to start providing that for myself. I need to start opening up to that. Because a lot of people are realizing, at the end of the day, really, we are just a soul. We're just a spiritual being having a physical journey. And what that means is we can get, very earthbound. We can get so, resistant. So, I don't want to do that. It's so stubborn. So, I'm just going to do my way and get caught in our ways. And just, we don't speak up. We don't say what we need to say. We never open up. We never, embrace the unknown. And all of this stuff, we're really realizing, wait a minute. Wait a minute, right? I am just a spiritual being having a physical experience. I have a soul. And there's a deeper yearning inside of me to have this creative fulfillment and to really access a greater energy, right? To really experience the greatness. So a lot of people who, have been settling in relationships, who, have been living a sort of life that is just not really fulfilling them at the soul level, all of that is just going to become so obvious that you're just going to look at it and be just quite bored, quite depressed, and quite what is going on? Why am I not really stepping into my greatness? Why am I allowing these sort of past energies or this, that, and the other to hold me back? And to hold me into this pattern or this habit or this lifestyle, this behavior that really doesn't give me the high self-esteem. It really is, I've been holding myself back, right? Or I've been participating in a habit or behavior or childhood memory or relationship memory that really isn't getting me where I need to go on a spiritual level. So a lot of us, when you can't physically move, right, that's when you really get to see how much you've spiritually grown. When you can't physically move, then you're just faced with your spirit and your emotions and your thoughts. Then you really get to see how you've spiritually grown, and you really get to just see your character, and you really get to see how you take care of yourself or how you don't take care of yourself, right? You really get to see how kind you are to yourself. You really get to see your self-esteem. You really get to see what is really going on with your life, right? Which really, because a lot of times, when we're just go in this physical world, a lot of times we never get to see what's actually going on. We never really recognize, wait, I have this addiction. Right, or wait a minute, I have this habit, or wait a minute, maybe I need to rethink this. We never really question. We never really use our critical thought to really go deep within ourselves, right? So a lot of us, there's a major sort of soul retrieval happening on this planet, where a lot of people, in getting honest with themselves, are making a lot of changes, and they're reinventing themselves, and they're starting to also retain their sort of restoring their sovereignty, and really looking at the world and seeing how we as human beings can become more heartfelt, because at the end of the day, it is really about how heartfelt you are within yourself, how heartfelt you are, that really gives you that creative fulfillment. Because again, when you're just brought into a place where you have to stay, it's just you and yourself. And that's where you really get to see within people how they enjoy their own company or not. right? Because at the end of the day, it's about you being inspired by yourself. So you really get to see like people who are lacking inspiration, who are lacking creativity, is because they don't even like to be with themselves, right? Because they don't like to listen to themselves. It's like they don't even like the sound of their own voice, let alone the sound of their spouse. So it's in many ways we can feel quite like, oh my gosh, this, but it's helping us to really make these changes so that we can invite in more harmony and to invite in more balance into our lives, so that we can start to enter into this July, August with a fresh energy, right? Recharged, renewed, restored, and just more connected to ourselves than ever before, so that we can start to have this creative fulfillment, so we can start to put our energy where it really needs to go. So we're really looking at like where we've been putting our energy, because before this, a lot of people are saying like they're exhausted emotionally, spiritually, even financially. And we're really getting to look, okay, where are we putting our energy? And where have we been putting our energy this whole time, right? Because a lot of people are experiencing like, forms of emotional, mental, financial, psychological sort of bankruptcy. And they're really looking at where they've been putting their energy. And maybe where they've been putting their energy is not really what they want, right? Is this really what I want? Is this really what I want to be? Is this really what I want to do? Is this really where I want to go? And people are asking the questions. They're getting critical. They're using their critical thought to really ask themselves, is this the type of house I want? Is this the type of, connection? Is this the type of relationship relay I want? Is this the type of lifestyle? Is this the type of habit? Is this the type of behavior that I want to continue to participate? Do I really want to continue to indulge in this sex addiction or this alcohol addiction or smoke addiction, right? Do I feel spiritually fertile? And a lot of people, they're just brought with they're literally put into their spirituality, and they get to see what their spirituality is, what self-care is, what does it mean to get to know you, what does it mean to discuss with yourself, what does it mean to listen. A lot of people, they're just brought into this period where they have to listen to themselves, and some people have never listened to themselves, right? They fill themselves life with so much tasks, with so much these responsibilities, with so much of this, ways in which we don't really have to look at ourselves or even get to know ourselves. But now it's like those who get to know themselves in like July, August, September, October are going to feel really, really, they're going to feel renewed. And those people who didn't listen to themselves, you could say July, August, September, are not going to feel renewed. They're going to feel sort of like, sort of wounded and sort of exhausted by being in this period and not actually really doing anything with it, not actually taking advantage of this stillness and this silence to do some heavy duty spiritual growth. Right, to actually, go within the soul and really ask the questions and get the answers, right, to really clear out these blockages, these sort of habits and lifestyles, because when things are put on pause, you can't do the things that you're done before, so you really get to really open up and see, okay, I can't do the things I did before, like, okay, maybe let me look at that, see, was that really helping me to be more creative? Was that helping me to feel more connected to myself? Was this sort of relationship relay I was having with my spouse actually helping us to grow? Or was it just keeping us, or was I keeping myself in just this sort of stalemate spiritually? Right? So you really get to see how you've spiritually grown, and you really get to see how you have been not taking the opportunity of life to bring more creativity to your options, and to more personal power to your adventures, or to your habits, or to behaviors, or what you decide in life. So we're really, at this time, our imagination is heightened. We're really, a lot of people in July, August are going to be making major necessary changes, and they're making it now, where they're just getting these great visions. I see a lot of people having all these ideas that are completely like foreign, are so seeming so extraordinarily different and unknown and mysterious and uncertain. But a lot of people are going to run with it, and a lot of it is going to be very successful, because this is coming from a place of spiritual growth. This is not coming from a place of just keep doing the same thing and hope is for change, right? A lot of people are like, they keep doing the same thing hoping for change, and now is the time where people are realizing, no, I can't just keep doing the same thing and hoping for change, right? So a lot of people are like, no, I actually have to go within, and I actually have to make a decision about my life and about my spiritual growth and about what is important to me, about where I'm putting my energy. Because just keep doing the same thing, keep just playing the same, thing, and just keeping it moving without even keeping your spirit moving, right? Just the physical, like just doing it to do it, right? Not even checking with your spirit. A lot of people are realizing how that has either gotten them nowhere, that either has made them feel really frustrated in this time, really depressed, and how they really are yearning. A lot of people are yearning and longing to actually really start to emerge with their soul, their spirituality, right? Which is listening to yourself, self-care, self-love, self-esteem, self-respect, self-worth, and really start to go out into the world in a way where they are starting to feel more in their personal power and starting to feel more soulful and starting to feel more spiritually vital, right? So we're really getting to look at how we're spiritual vital, and we really also get to look at how we are doing the same thing and expecting change. Doing the same thing, and that can be in a relationship, realizing like, oh wait, this sort of relay, this sort of habit, or this sort of lifestyle is really not giving me the spiritual growth that gives me joy, right? We get to look at like, okay, the joy, right? And we also get to look at the things that are holding us back from joy, right? And where we really need to focus our energy. So you really get to use this opportunity to focus your energy on that which is going to give you the highest sort of fulfillment. And those people who are doing that are having spiritual growth. And those people who are not are just watching 10 hours of Netflix, right? And then, July, August, September, October will come around like a, sort of a blink of an eye in many ways. And these people will just wake up out of a Netflix movie and just go back into life doing the same thing they've always done, but looking around and seeing how, wait, the whole shakeup of this world has led to people actually going on their highest adventure, right? Instead of like holding back and like maybe next time, maybe I don't know that time, but one day, they're like, no, it is today, right? It is today. And a lot of people are going to feel that like, it is today. I have to take a chance on my spiritual growth. I have to take a chance on my intuition. I have to take a chance on my creative fulfillment. I have to take a chance on the unknown. I have to use my personal power. I have to be more courageous. Because in this standstill where, you really get to look at how courageous you're living and how fearful you're living, and you really get to look at what kind of relay you have in a relationship, and is that it's just so entrapping and confining. And you really get to look at your passion, how you've caged it, your self-expression, how you can elevate that. And you really get to look at your connection to the earth and how united you feel with the earth, right? And how faithful and how determined and just how, you could say, elegant you're becoming. And a lot of people moving forward are going to take a path of being more heartfelt and making a life that's actually going to give them that heartfelt. Because the ways in which we're not heartfelt, ignoring, denying, avoiding our hearts, our feelings, and just keep it pushing and just keep going to work, and eventually the problem will solve itself and you don't need to do anything, right? Just keep doing the same thing and it will fix itself, right? A lot of people are realizing there is a sort of participation of love. There is a sort of connection I need to have to my heart. There is a sort of awareness I need to bring. There is a sort of a practice I need to have with myself, so that when I go out into the world, July, August, September, I'm going out into the world feeling a lot more genuine, right? In some ways, we're just not genuine with ourselves. In the ways that we get depressed because we didn't get this, that, and the other. And then the ways that, this relationship, we're just so like, I don't even want to talk to this person. I don't even want to look at this person. The way of our addictions and our obsessions. And we really get to look at like how we're being genuine with ourselves. Like, are we being genuine with what we really want, how we really feel? What really is just, this is not working. What really is calling to us, right? What really is, we're yearning for, and what really is going to give us that spiritual vitality that's going to enrich ourselves,